Imagine waking up in 1970, when life was simpler, brighter, and full of soul. Today, we're taking you back to that unforgettable era with rare photos that capture the true spirit of America in the 70s. A $16,000 house and a handshake with the bank? Getting a loan in the 70s was a milestone, paving the way for a family home with a boxy Mercury or Lincoln in the driveway and kids riding a makeshift train behind a lawnmower. Life was simple, and childhood was free, playing outside until the streetlights flickered on. In the winter, families piled into their cars, leaning out the windows as snow blanketed the roads, their wool coats shielding them from the cold. At home, a floral couch, wood-paneled walls, and a vintage wall clock set the scene for relaxed evenings, where parents chatted over coffee while kids, still damp from a pool day, wrestled on the floor. Weekend trips to the zoo meant bottle-feeding baby elephants, with bright signs and castle-like backdrops creating childhood memories. And then there were weddings. Burgundy tuxedos, lace dresses, and soft golden lighting. A snapshot of an era where love, laughter, and polyester ruled. A McDonald's cheeseburger for 30 cents, fries for a quarter, and a milkshake that actually tasted like real ice cream. Fast food in the 70s was simple, cheap, and unforgettable. The towering golden arches on Interstate 90 and Rapid City were a familiar sight on road trips, luring families in for a quick meal. Burger King's bright red and yellow signs lit up parking lots, where muscle cars and station wagons idled as kids argued over who got the first sip of an icy Coke. But dining out wasn't just about fast food. Disco bars like Studio 54 and The Loft were pulsing with neon lights, shimmering dresses, and cocktails like the Tequila Sunrise or Blue Hawaii, best enjoyed under a spinning disco ball. Lounges like Devon Gables in Michigan and Eastern Slope Inn in New Hampshire were packed with people sipping on happy hour specials. And for early risers, a simple egg sandwich for 35 cents on Fulton Street was the perfect way to start the day. The rhythmic clack, clack, clack of typewriters filled high school classrooms as students learned to type. No backspace, no autocorrect, just pure skill. Science labs had a different energy. One student joking with a skeleton model, another carefully mixing colorful chemicals in floral-patterned countertops, all while dressed in plaid skirts and wavy-haired cool. Art classes were vibrant hubs of creativity, with students in bell-bottoms and jumpsuits painting expressive masterpieces. Bryan Adams t-shirts and rebellious grins ruled the hallways, capturing the carefree teenage spirit of the time. School wasn't just about textbooks. It was about laughter, fashion, and hands-on learning. Whether it was mod-style dresses in a biology class or preppy plaid in chemistry, the 70s school experience was as much about personality as it was about education. And through it all, the fluorescent-lit classrooms and blinds set the perfect backdrop for teenage nostalgia. The 70s were the golden age of big, bold American cars, when power and presence ruled the roads. The Ford Galaxy 500, a top seller of 1970, turned heads with its sleek chrome vinyl roof and raised white leather tires embodying the muscle car era. Meanwhile, the Plymouth Satellite and Chevrolet Impala cruised through cities, their massive frames dwarfing today's compact designs. For those who wanted quirky, there was the AMC Gremlin, a two-door subcompact that looked like someone chopped the back off a full-size sedan. Inside, green leather, wood-trimmed dashboards, and sturdy chrome steering wheels, often with fuzzy dice, were standard. But it wasn't just about driving, it was about the experience. Families packed into cars and headed to drive-in theaters where pole-mounted speakers delivered soundtracks to flickering films under the stars. The streets, lit by vintage neon signs and roadside diners, were alive with the pulse of America's love affair with the automobile. Long before streaming, kids tuned in daily to Sesame Street, where Gordon and Susan guided young minds alongside Ernie, Bert, and Roosevelt Franklin, teaching life lessons with felt and laughter. The big screen had its own magic. Star Wars exploded into pop culture in 1977, turning Mark Hamill, R2-D2, and C-3PO into Academy Awards presenters just a year later. In music, Tom Jones posed with Elvis and Priscilla in Vegas, proof that legends always find each other. Meanwhile, George Jones ruled country music, his voice pouring from AM radios across America. On TV, John Ritter and Richard Klein kept audiences laughing in Three's Company, a show that defined sitcom humor. And in Hollywood, the most powerful entertainers gathered. John Wayne, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Bob Hope stood side by side with Ronald Reagan, proving that in the 70s, politics and showbiz walked hand in hand under the glitz of the Coconut Grove. Flying in the 70s wasn't just transportation, it was an experience. Pan Am flight attendants served champagne in first class, passengers stretched out in beige and mustard-colored seats, and overhead bins were still open-air shelves packed with suitcases and excitement. The arrival of the Boeing 747 revolutionized long-haul travel, making global adventures more accessible. But for many, the real journey happened on the road. Families loaded up station wagons and U-Hauls, following highways lined with towering Holiday Inn signs, promising a good night's rest before the next leg of the trip. School excursions meant a ride on the Staten Island Ferry, where kids leaned into the wind, feeling the thrill of the open bay. And back on the roads, diners, neon signs, and endless stretches of highway made every trip an adventure. Whether soaring above the clouds or cruising Route 66, travel in the 70s was all about the journey, not just the destination. The beaches of the 70s were sizzling, literally coated in tanning oil and filled with cutout swimsuits that left the strangest tan lines imaginable. Miniskirts took over the streets, paired with knee-high socks and bold stripes and patterns, turning everyday outfits into youthful statements. Hitchhikers weren't just looking for a ride. They were bohemian icons like the barefoot girl in denim shorts and a floral crop top, carrying flowers as she wandered toward adventure. And then there was the matching craze. Couples in plaid knitwear and oversized scarves, families decked out in identical jumpsuits, proving that unisex fashion was here to stay. Catalog ads promised cozy aesthetics and coordinated style, and people actually bought in. Whether it was bell-bottoms, earthy tones, or the freedom of mixing it all, the 70s weren't just about clothes. They were about confidence, individuality, and a whole lot of polyester. If your house didn't have an avocado green kitchen, was it really the 70s? The heart of the home was where moms stitched clothes on their sewing machines, dads adjusted the giant TV set, and kids wrapped themselves in the extra-long rotary phone cord, gossiping with friends while mixing a jug of Tang, the drink of astronauts. Every home had a mushroom motif: cookie jars, curtains, wallpaper. If you could slap a mushroom on it, you did. Living rooms were a sea of floral sofas and brass accents, the air thick with cigarette smoke from an oversized glass ashtray, sitting right next to a half-empty bottle of scotch. Kitchens weren't complete without wood paneling, bold colors, and a humming fridge covered in magnets and handwritten notes. Whether it was a cozy Minnesota apartment or a suburban house, one thing was certain: everything, from the shag carpets to the gold-trimmed lamps, had a vibe that screamed pure 70s comfort. The Hollywood freeways in '72 were packed with station wagons and muscle cars, crawling through smog-filled skies as billboards for cigarettes and blockbuster films loomed overhead. Across the country, the World Trade Center towers rose into the Manhattan skyline, their 110 stories briefly making them the tallest buildings in the world, symbols of a modernizing America. But the streets below had their own stories. In Harlem, a traffic accident in 1973 drew curious onlookers, while in Midtown, pedestrians shuffled past the flashing neon of Times Square's Golden Dollar topless bar, a reminder that the city had an edgier side. For family-friendly fun, nothing beat a night at the movies. Broadway's Palace Theater glowed with marquees for Animal House, Grease, and The King and I, while the scent of hot dogs and street pretzels filled the air. Whether cruising down 6th Avenue or lost in city lights, the 70s streets were chaotic, iconic, and unmistakably alive. The 70s were an explosive decade for sports, filled with record-breaking moments and unforgettable champions. In 1977, Reggie Jackson crushed 5 home runs in the World Series, earning the title Mr. October as he led the Yankees to victory. Just 3 years earlier, Hank Aaron shattered Babe Ruth's home run record, hitting his historic 715th homer in front of a roaring Atlanta crowd, proving that legends don't just break records, they rewrite history. Football fans saw the Kansas City Chiefs dominate Super Bowl IV in 1970, securing a 23-7 victory in the final AFL versus NFL showdown. On the golf course, the great Arnold Palmer showcased his signature cool at the 1973 Ryder Cup. While in tennis, John McEnroe turned fiery rebellion into an art form, making fans swoon with his attitude. And of course, Muhammad Ali, heavyweight king and global icon, received birthday wishes while proving he was just as captivating outside the ring.